Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off talking about PlayStation 4 emulation with none other than ShadPS4. Now, ShadPS4 just got a brand new update. Version 0.2.0 just dropped. They say it's an exciting new release of ShadPS4. A lot of new games are working. No Bloodborne yet, but they are getting closer. So in this release, they've added macOS support, big shader recompiler improvements, core improvements, and GUI improvements. Like everything I talk about, links will be in the description below, and I'll also drop a link to the compatibility tracker in the description below as well, so you can check that out in the event that you want to see what games are currently working and what games have issues and what games aren't booting yet. And on a side note, if you wanted to see an in-depth view of this release, I'll drop a link to Brutal Sam's YouTube video in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. This is an amazing release for ShadPS4. I mean, this emulator just keeps making improvements in leaps and bounds, and has jumped way out in front as the current best PS4 emulator out there. Moving on, and we're talking about ROM hacking, and someone posted this over on Reddit ROM hacking, and you might be interested in it if you're a fan of ROM hacks. So this list is the essential SNES ROM hacks of all time, which has been updated for 2024. I'll drop a link to this in the description below, and feel free to check it out if you're interested in learning more about some ROM hacks and discovering some you may be a fan of. On top of that, they've also got a list of essential NES ROM hacks of all time, and this one was also updated in 2024. It's also got a great list here, and I'll drop a link to both of these in the description below. And speaking about ROM hacking, next up we're talking about Romhack.ing. It's a brand new ROM hacking website. They say the staff have been working hard behind the scenes, and we now present you with this, Romhack.ing. Please remember, this is an alpha or analpha, and it is read-only. We'll continue to refine it and tweak it until it's ready for prime time. Now, I checked out their website, and there's not a whole lot to it. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen here and how this site evolves, and whether or not it's going to be the prime place for ROM hacking as a replacement for romhacking.net. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. And speaking about ROM hacks and fan-made stuff, next up we're quickly talking about a project you may want to pay attention to and a YouTube channel you may want to check out. This is Super Mario and the Rainbow Stars, and this fan game looks absolutely incredible so far. It has been in development for a while, and I've got no idea when the release date is going to be. But following along with the progress is very interesting. However, there is an older demo of this game that was released about 4 years ago over on smbxgame.com, and today they're getting a brand new demo. Honestly, let me know your thoughts about this project in the comments below. Are you a fan of stuff like this? Are you not a fan of stuff like this? And are you interested in the demo that's just about to release? And speaking about fan stuff, next up we're talking about something that's a little bit controversial, or a lot of bit controversial. We talked about this yesterday, H2M mod. It's a mod for Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered that aims to basically give you the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer experience in Modern Warfare Remastered. It was set to release today. However, on the eve of its release, Activision gave it a cease and desist order. So here's their tweet. Today, our team members received a cease and desist order on behalf of Activision Publishing in relation to the H2M mod project. We are complying with this order and shutting down all operations immediately and permanently. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure as to why Activision did this and what their line of thinking is. I mean, they probably had to pay a lot of money for their legal team in order to research this and write the cease and desist, send it out, and follow up on it, instead of just getting some money from people buying this game in order for the mod to work with it. I mean, the H2M mod does require a copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, and I would assume people would be buying this game in order to use the mod with it. I mean, it would be enticing. The game came out back in 2017. I think people would buy the game to try out the mod, but I could be wrong here. And then the negative publicity from Activision may hurt them even more than they spent on the legal team. I mean, if you take a look at the game right now under recent reviews, it's overwhelmingly negative. I'm not joking with you here. This game got absolutely review bombed on Steam because of this whole cease and desist thing. And I'm assuming the bad press is not something that Activision actively seeks out. And worse yet for Activision, since they waited so long to issue the cease and desist, I mean, literally the day before this thing was set to release, there are copies of this already out in the wild. And once it's on the internet, good luck in taking it off the internet. I'll drop a link to this article in the description below in the event that you wanted to learn more about it. And let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below, but I think Activision stands more to lose from issuing the cease and desist than actually gain. I mean, people would have bought that game to play the mod, at least I think. Why would you want to turn down game sales? But who knows? Maybe you know more than I do, or maybe Activision knows something I don't. Moving on, and next up is a friendly heads up if you're on Linux, you've got a racing wheel and you like to configure it with oversteer. Oversteer is now on FlatHub. It is listed as unverified, but I'm assuming that's going to change in the near future. And with the latest release of oversteer, they've added initial support for the Camus C5 wheel. And they've added the Thrustmaster TXXW racing wheel. But moving on, and next up, we're quickly talking about the Nintendo Switch, or the Nintendo Switch 2, or rather, whatever the heck they're calling the new console. Anyway, speculation has popped up online as to the release window for this new console. They're expecting possibly between April and June of next year. We're probably going to hear a whole lot more about it soon, but at the same time, there's speculation left, right, and center, and a whole bunch of rumors about it. So they said it wasn't going to happen this year, and now they're saying it's going to happen in the first half of next year. I could say it could happen anywhere between now and 2030, and maybe I'd be right. Next up, this one's a quick heads up that Google has released Imagen 3, which is their text-to-image AI generation tool. If you are curious about this one, like everything I talk about, link will be in the description below. Let me know your thoughts about Imagen 3. They say here this one's got greater versatility and prompt understanding, higher quality image, better text rendering, and even more. Moving on, and we're talking about some games and trailers, and the first one here is For the Stars. This game is a space exploration game, it's a survival game, and also an open world from my understanding. It seems very interesting, and a video for this one dropped on YouTube. Unfortunately, I've got no release date for this one, but it is headed to PC, PlayStation 5, and also Xbox. Next up is Replaced. Now, this game got a 13-minute gameplay overview over on IGN, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. The game has been delayed until 2025. But I would argue this one looks pretty charming, and in my opinion, it's far more interesting to me than For the Stars. And for those wondering, it is headed to PC and Xbox. I don't see any mention here for PlayStation. Now, Slitterhead, though, is headed to PlayStation, PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC, and is set to release in November of this year. And it just got a brand new story trailer. Slitterhead is being hailed as a battle action adventure game, and let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Next up, we're talking about the Epic Game Store. Now, the Epic Game Store has had a rough relationship with Apple and also Google. However, they've made a massive breakthrough here. So the Epic Game Store has launched on iPhone and Android. For iPhone, it's currently restricted to the EU only, and for Android, it's launched worldwide. At this point in time, there are 3 games available: Fortnite, Fall Guys, and Rocket League Sideswipe, with probably a whole bunch more on the way. I've got no idea if the Epic Game Store is going to launch anywhere outside of the EU, but hopefully it does. Who knows here? Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Are you installing the Epic Game Store on your device? And speaking about Android and iOS, next up we're talking about Hard Time 3. Now, to be honest with you, I have not played Hard Time 1 or 2, so I don't really know a whole lot about this series. But at the same time here, Hard Time 3 has popped up on Google Play and also on the App Store, and also on Steam. It looks interesting here. If you've played Hard Time 1 or 2, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below, and let me know if you're excited about Hard Time 3. Unfortunately, I don't have a release date yet for this prison sim, but it appears that there's quite a few people looking forward to it. And speaking about people getting excited for something, next up we're talking about Windows. And it appears that Windows is removing the artificial FAT32 partition size limitation. So it's going from 32 gigs to 2 terabytes in size. And last up here, we're still talking about Windows, but also about the Steam Deck. And Valve has officially released the Windows drivers for the OLED Steam Deck. So if you've got a Steam Deck OLED and you wanted to put Windows on it, it just got a whole lot easier and a lot less of a headache. Now, generally, I don't recommend putting Windows on the Steam Deck. I don't think it's the best experience out there. But at the same time here, sometimes there are some games out there that only work with Windows, whether it's a result of an anti-cheat or something else here. So this could be very helpful for a lot of people looking to play very specific games. If you put Windows on your Steam Deck, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.